Hey guys.
Hey.
So we are here with you today to talk about a really pertinent issue facing all performing artists today.
Bad audition.
We've all been there.
So we're going to talk today about...
Some of us more than others.
So, my worst audition experience, why are you laughing?
I don't know, I'm excited.
I had just gotten back from a contract in Kansas, and I was going into the show, the boy band show that I'm with. I had 4 days to learn an entire new track. I was feeling super depressed. I had a lot to learn.
Post-show depression.
Yeah, and I got really sick, so I was throwing up. And my manager, who I love to death, called and was like, hey, I have an appointment for you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m.
He's already happy.
Your first Broadway, appointment. I was so excited because it's my first, I had been in for a Broadway show before, but this was my first, they picked me to come in for an appointment and actually, be considered for a Broadway show. But I was so depressed. I was feeling really fat. I was vomiting when I was talking to her. So I woke up and I threw up that morning before I went to the audition. I got there at 9:45 in the morning. I had sung through the song at home, but I was like, I don't know how this is gonna work out. I sang a song from Elf, and it only goes up to a G, but I wasn't going up to a G. I've never felt so embarrassed because this is the first time I've sung for this woman. This is my first Broadway appointment. I was on the verge of tears in this audition room, not showing, but in my head. And luckily the woman was so kind, and she clearly, she was like, are you ill? And I was like, I've been throwing up all morning and I'm learning a new show, and I just flew in from Kansas yesterday, and I shouldn't have spewed my life story to this woman, but I did. But they still had me stay and read. And I left the room, and I walked into the bathroom, and I cried. That was my worst audition experience. I had it felt so bad. But I just went in for her again 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Same show. My audition went much better. I was my voice was ready and raring to go.
But
I didn't get the role. I'm not on Broadway.
It was one of my first acting auditions because I was a dancer for a long time, purely. Anyway, so I went in. It was one of my first calls for a role, and I was going in for an agent, an FBI style agent. Of course, they said once I was there, not prior, we'd like a monologue. Go ahead. And so I said, okay, and then literally my ass just started making up lines in a monologue, which sounds oh, that shouldn't actually be that bad. No, it was bad, because I straight up was and then they told me that they weren't, and I saw the place of the walkway. I was just and I wasn't funny back then, so it wasn't comedy. It was for an agent. They can read your lips. Stop it. It didn't go well. It did not. I just kind of kept going. I think eventually they had cut me off.
Can I tell you
for
that?
acting?
I've done that too. And they're make it up in your head. And I was okay.
Why was Miranda Sings running your audition?
I don't know, because she's a celebrity.
Oh.
The monitor came up to me in the hallway and he goes, I'm really sorry to have to be the one to tell you, but they don't need to see any more from you today.
Why are you saying it like that? You have one role.
Normally, I would feel fine with getting cut because, that's, I could still get the role without needing to be seen again. But in this moment, I was well, I didn't get it.
He was so clearly telling you failed.
That, you're not getting cast in this role.
That just reminded me when I got called in. It was, again, a lot of our stories are first. Because I think when you're going in for the first time for a new style of something, I think it messes with you. It was my first time being in for a casting director that, cast, big things. It was a real New York City, not a non-union, not a student film. It was my first.
She's discrediting non-union.
No, I'm just saying it was a big person. And I was all prepared, and the casting director was okay, great. And of course you're gonna do this in a Brooklyn accent. Oh no, they sent me a thing the night before. that was
I
like...
remember this.
Yeah, and they, like, the night before they
She's
sent me...
not good at accents.
No, I'm not good at accents, especially a Brooklyn accent. Like, of anything, maybe a Southern I can get by a little.
You almost had it just now when you said Brooklyn accent, though.
Maybe a
Especially
British...
I can't do it either, though.
Yeah. I spent, like, that whole night, I was, like, listening to YouTube of, like, how to do a Brooklyn accent. I was like, law, dog, the coffee. You know, I was trying to work on it. It didn't...
Sound a little bit like Long Island.
Oh, I know. Well, they're close. It didn't go well. And I kept trying to do the accent, and it kept, like, becoming some other accent in the middle, so I'd try to, like, readjust. And I was like, God knows what, like, my face is doing while I'm worried about this accent.
Accents are hard, too, because sometimes even if you're good at one, like, if
In
you're
the
just
moment?
not good at that moment, then all of a sudden they think you
Yeah,
can't
or
do
that,
it
like,
at all.
certain words, like, especially if you, like, get into a groove of your lines and then they throw something else at you. Like, when I had to sight read in a British accent for that musical.
All right, well, see, there's... all right, bye, guys.
Tell us yours.